What's good, people? It's your boy, New York Money. That's my name. Change your life in 30 days. Don't get mad. Get the bag. You won't be sad. Cop a wing. Come fly with me. And who do I have here on my side?
Betty Rage. Betty Rage.
She's in the building.
Always.
And what's this called?
The Transenders.
What?
Senders.
Ooh, Transenders. Yo, what's good, people? We're back. And I don't know what we're going to talk about, but we back. So,
Well, we did say we would talk about respond versus react
So should we head on with some definitions?
and observe versus consume.
Ooh, consume.
They all go hand in hand. It's all really one and the same.
Yeah, consumed. You could be drenched in that.
Yeah, everyone mostly is.
And they're reacting.
Yeah, knee-jerk reaction.
Not responding.
No.
Because they're too consumed.
In true Transenders fashion, the definition of reaction is, give me 1 minute, definition. If we'd all didn't experience it on social media in 2020, I don't know who did. Everybody's reacting left and right. Obnoxious, unnecessary. Definition. Reaction is an action performed or a feeling experienced in response to a situation or event. Emotions are not facts. However, majority of people are reacting as if they are, versus asking a question of what is actually going on here. And it's generally not about the thing, which is the weird part.
So what's that word you always tell me?
Detachment?
No, discernment? I think
Discernment.
I
Discernment.
fucked up the word. One more.
Discernment.
Yeah, explain
So,
that.
Discernment is having wisdom on when to act or lack thereof. I can look for that definition, but I'm looking for respond right now.
So, complaining ain't gonna get you nowhere.
But everybody's doing it because I think it's familiar. So respond is to say something in reply. So it's to marinate on your emotion behind the reaction because it's generally not about the thing. And then once you understand what that is, then you can respond to the person versus react in the moment.
So you just said they missed this word, familiar.
Most people are acting day in and day out of familiarity.
Now, they could be consumed in that, right?
Most people are, yeah.
And then the other words you said,
Discernment.
they're not responding.
No, they're reacting left and right.
That,
And then when you're reacting left and right, then you get to like backpedal and clean up your reaction. Where if you respond, you don't have anything to clean up because you're clear. You understand why you're feeling how you're feeling. Whether it's right or wrong, you understand it.
so to simplify that, they're in fight or flight.
Yeah, it's survival versus thriving. And discernment is the ability to judge well.
On your reactions.
Ooh. A discerning individual is considered to possess wisdom and be good of judgment. Good judgment.
So making a decision in what you would say, not too of a out of comfort zone situation.
Yeah.
That's when you need that.
Yeah, the quality of being able to grasp and comprehend what is obscure is discernment.
Can you elaborate on comfort zone?
Comfort zone is often familiar. It's what you're used to. And again, it doesn't mean healthy. I've said it a million times. I'll say it again. Familiar is not always good, but that's what the ego reverts back to. It's fascinating because the ego feels like comfortable is safe, and very often it's unsafe. And it thinks that the uncomfortable is unsafe, and in all reality, it is safe.
So I got a question. When you react, go ahead. Hold on. Hold. Dang, it was a pause there. All right, cause, damn. All right, we're back. So, reaction. Most of the world's in reaction.
Well, the fucked up shit is, often we're reacting to a situation and it actually has absolutely nothing to do with the situation. It has to do with something that's being triggered in us from past situations, and we think it's about the now, but it's not.
Could that be a chemical imbalance?
It could be you've not done the work to understand what the hell is actually going on. So you don't know yourself.
So the circuits didn't cross wire. The doctor.
I mean, if you want to call it a chemical imbalance to make yourself feel better, that's fine. We can blame it on something. It couldn't be you.
So is that familiar to blame? You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's always familiar to blame for most people. You gotta blame. You couldn't go back to me.
What do we call that? A what mentality?
Victim mentality. So I'll just use an example.
No, don't say Detroit.
Okay.
Are you going to the Detroit?
I was considering
Springs. Go ahead, Detroit Springs. So she went to So she was in Detroit Springs.
I'm loud about the mother wound. I'm clear on it.
Okay, Detroit Springs. You was there.
So a reaction of I grew up thinking nothing was good enough. That's just and the reality is my mom has that undertone of nothing's ever good enough. So if people
You mean Detroit Springs?
Yes, pardon me.
Yeah. Detroit Springs is what we're talking about. Detroit Springs,
aka MOM. Anyway, so if anybody talked to me like I was doing something that wasn't good enough, I would react, but I had to do a little investigative work, and then I would respond with, it has nothing to do with this. It has everything to do with growing up thinking nothing was good enough. So in this moment, I'm feeling like you are saying that when in all reality it's not. So
Question.
That's responding versus reacting.
Did you ever feel, my shit is, I just had deja vu, being defensive.
Yeah.
And I stand by that on certain levels. Did you ever, not saying it's right or wrong, but I understand that in me. Did you ever feel defensive, or was you really responding?
There was a moment I was defensive until I was not, and I learned to respond, and mostly always. But anytime defense comes up, that's a trigger and a moment that you can ask yourself, what is actually triggering me? Because it's not about the thing that's triggering you, as weird as that is.
No, yeah, it could be like, my shit is like, okay, I got this white flag. Why are you still consuming me? And
there's a time though to have discernment to respond in a loud way. That's not even reacting. That's responding loudly.
Gotcha.
Most people aren't gonna like it. That's fine. Nobody cares.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So basically, we have consume. We didn't hit y'all with a lot, but it all ties back to everything that she said in the beginning with respond. You know what I mean? She said that. So with that said is between fight or flight, whatever you consume with being familiar with, and just being, as you would call, the vacuum.
You get sucked in the vacuum.
So you're getting hit with everything.
Left and right.
You know what I'm saying? Old couch nickels. Cheetos. You like what the Cheeto hit you for? Now you mad at Cheetos. Hairballs. So every time you see a cat, you want to kick it. So
this comes back to meditate, observe your life. Don't get consumed in your life. We didn't address it, but observe versus consumed. When you're observing what's going on versus getting consumed in it, It's a different beast.
You know, it came to me right before I can get the words out. You said meditate. So I call it, do me a favor, you set your clock for 10 minutes. And we're going to call it 10 minutes of abundance. And you just close your eyes. What's really cool, get a blindfold or like one of those sleeping masks. Very therapeutic and very relaxing. Close your eyes for 10 minutes and just have 10 minutes abundance with yourself.
And the problem is, and I'll reference it over and over again, the unbecoming you, the masses think that they're their mind. And so in meditation, what you're doing is you're observing your thoughts, dissecting them, getting curious about them versus getting consumed in them and having them become you. Because you are not your thoughts, but you think you are, which is fucked.
So what you've been saying the whole time, the chemical imbalance. So that chemical imbalance is going to kick in.
And your chemical imbalance is you thinking you're your thoughts, just to be clear.
Yeah, and it's going to feel real familiar. It's going to tell you that you are in the wrong. But that's going to stem from, okay, no, I can't go there.
You got to just ask yourself more questions. Where is this thought coming from? What is it that's making me feel this way? Get curious. And then you got to get honest, though, because a lot of people aren't willing to get honest about it all. That's what pride and denial, but that's another thing.
Yeah, because you created this, we would say, we're going to just say in our terms, a program. But the program could have been, you know, passed down from generation to generation. Cool. You had nothing to do with that. All I'm saying is understand the moment. Take this.
Discernment?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know I be fucking up.
I got it. Discernment.
Take that, and then you want to respond. What kind of place would they want to respond? A neutral place?
Yeah. Yeah. And you got to be really careful in your responding with your timing and your tone. Because tone determines everything. You can come off reactive based on your tone about something.
Now you're talking in third person, first person, all person, right?
All person. All of it.
You, the dog, everybody, the grat.
Like people go in on stuff and it's not the right time. So you need to use discernment on what is the right time.
The gas prices.
And then your tone. People get real loud and wild.
And you could get real loud and wild with yourself. Basically,
most people are.
You're going to be having this conversation with yourself. Practice makes perfect. So the only person you should be really focusing in on you and how you respond to yourself.
And I like to say practice makes progress.
Yes,
because
progress.
Perfect does not exist. And anybody striving for that is going to be very disappointed because it doesn't exist. So...
Man, that's...
I used to tell my students that all the time. Week 1.
So, yeah. But then if somebody's trapped in that, they're reacting all the fucking time.
Well, very often that's an old wiring. You were probably made to feel like you had to be perfect, which is unobtainable, which, what the fuck, then? What?
Yeah, you're in that, like...
I'm not interested in perfection. I have no clue what that is.
Yeah, that's a lot of reacting.
Mm-hmm.
That's a chemical imbalance. That's a short circuit.
It's a very rigid lifestyle. Unsubscribe. Hashtag no thank you.
You're like, I don't know.
Not interested.
Dang,
no. Hard no for me.
So, we have respond versus reacting.
And observe versus consume. And they're ultimately...
All right, we didn't elaborate
similar.
on observe. Did we?
Observe, I did, briefly. Observe is you're observing your thoughts versus getting consumed in them. So you're observing what's going on versus becoming what is going on.
So basically you're hopping out of the comfort zone.
Yeah, for most, I guess.
And what's familiar.
I'm pretty familiar with observing, so I'm attempting to relate right now. However, it's been a long time. But yes, that's accurate.
And then reacting and observe whether you're in fight or flight.
Yeah. And to be very honest, reaction is like an 8-year-old child or a 5-year-old. He reacts all the time. And again, it's about the reality is the masses are a bunch of 8-year-olds in adult bodies. So we appear to be adults. However, based on reactions, you're a bunch of 8-year-olds in adult bodies.
But I'm
unable to take responsibility for your emotion, and you have to blame it when you're freaking out left and right. And then it's everybody else's fault but your own, which is not true. Because you're in control of you, and that's it. You're responsible for you, and that's it. We've talked about that, so I'll say it again.
Well, I think yeah.
Pulled through on the...
So we have respond, consume, familiar, comfort zone, fight or flight. Oh, this is what I was going to say. Where it's going to come down to is you have to mind your business. Meaning, you know what I'm saying, mind your own being. So basically with that said is, if you can do that and then observe yourself, respond to yourself, then what happens is when you come to any situation, you already put the work in and then you'll see the progress. You're basically just going to go inside you and
just get used to whoever's in your circle not liking it much.
Yeah.
You're showing up different. So you got to also be willing to, quote unquote, lose people, but you're
Facts.
Not losing anybody. You're creating space for new people that actually align.
What's a good word for that? Work, like you're going to have this conversation with yourself. More, you know what I'm saying? That's where you got to have the conversation.
This is where, and this could bridge into the next one of true self-confidence. You don't care what people think because you know who you are. But most people, again, are consumed in caring what people think. I don't care at all.
And then they're afraid to stand alone.
Correct. But you're ultimately always alone, so let's... what are we talking about?
No.
You come in alone, you go out alone.
Yeah. Just saying what they're going to
do. No, absolutely. But most people need their partners or their posses. But they're fake posses most of the time.
They're yes men.
Yeah. Say yes to what sets your soul on fire, and that's it. Everything else will fall into alignment.
So we had respond versus...
react.
Observing
versus consume.
All right. So we're coming up on like almost 18 minutes. I think we're done here.
Yeah, that'll do it for me. Betty Rage out.
New York who?
Money.
Transenders. One more time.
Which part?
So name of this again?
The Transenders.